Let's go, baby. This is Sam here from RDL, and today I'm going to talk about finding yourself and also overcoming anxiety. Because a lot of times most of us don't know who we are. Like I struggled for a long time with who I was, and a lot of my struggles was due to a lot of my struggle I had, and I had because the mind was not coherent with how I feel, of who I am, of my true self. So today I'm gonna talk about how to overcome that. Then I remember Lil Wayne. There was a point in his life he just said that he's just gonna stop writing and he's just gonna sing. Now if you're an artist, it's hard to just jump from preparing, planning to just doing, but then you do first and then you let the mind put form and bring it to the best of how you truly feel. So this was a point where I connected with Lil Wayne because man, I need to pee so bad. I'm going to talk about overcoming anxiety and also being yourself, because I feel like a lot of times if you're not yourself, if you cannot be yourself, you cannot be yourself because you are anxious. How to find yourself, how to find your voice, and also how to overcome anxiety. Because a lot of times it's a lot of so we live in a world where everything is moving so fast. There's a lot of information to process. Things on our mind all the time. Your parents, there is society, there is school, there is expecting you to be somebody and telling you who you are. You become anxious and stifled. You feel like you're dying inside. You can feel like you have so much to offer, but if only somebody will listen to you, if someone will hear you out. Feel like you're not being yourself, you're judging yourself too much. See, a lot of times you're thinking the world is judging you, you're thinking people outside of yourself are thinking about you, judging you in depth, although you feel in your heart that whatever you feel is your truth, you just can't express it. So anxiety, self-doubt, low self-esteem, and worthlessness arises when you don't know who you are, when you're not living from this place of authenticity, of who you truly are. Truth is that most of your role models, most of your mentors, most of your spiritual leaders come from this place. Most of the people you see in this world causing change are introverts, just like myself and you, just like how I was before. Because the truth is that most of the people that you see in this world are introverts who are waking to who they are. The real question is, what aspect of myself should I trust? What is the right path to you? So this is my story now. This is how I embarked on a journey of self-discovery, journey to find myself, of who I truly am. Because deep within, I always knew that I was not living my true self. I was not living from who I am, from that place that I know that is me. And that's why I started meditation. So the journey of self-discovery starts from looking within. Meditation is of course one way that you can look within without being woo-woo or nothing crazy, but meditation is simply sitting down at home, just focusing your attention on yourself, on your heart, and generally looking within. This is where I also told myself that I'm gonna pay attention to myself, pay attention to my thinking, my thoughts, and my emotions. Generally, it's like starting afresh, like being born again. starting from a clean slate and paying attention to yourself. So this is where you find out that certain thoughts and in fact certain thinking is just ridiculous. And then you also focus on emotion, and then you realize that certain emotions are just unnecessary. It's like, am I going through these thoughts, and am I going through these emotions? So when you're open and honest to yourself and how you feel, you get to find out who you truly are. So this is the journey, this is the beginning of finding yourself, and you get to hear yourself, you get to see thoughts and emotions that are not true or ridiculous, like I said before, but then you also get to hear your own voice, you get to hear a self that is true, it has a true vibration to it, and that's why you know that this is my true self. That self that feels, it's like sometimes like a still voice, or just a saying, or a truth about you that you didn't know, and that's your true self, that's your true voice. It could also come in the form of an advice, an inspiration. It could come in the form of a judgment or intuition, and knowing that you yourself will feel that it's true. It's true because you know it. And that's when you know that that is your voice. It's from a pure place, and this your true self is not judgmental, it's not arguing. You just know that it's the truth, and it always comes in the form of take it or leave it, and generally it also comes to a form of love, in terms of the voice, and that's how you get to know your true voice. A lot of times, if you've been not practice this or done this practice, you might not hear a true voice immediately. Sometimes it takes years. I've been on this journey for a while now, and I just recently started to hear myself, and sometimes we've been so dead to our true voice that it's just not there. You have to be patient and keep on with the meditation, keep on watching your thoughts and your emotions, and eventually, unexpectedly, you will hear yourself, you hear a true voice. Sometimes when you hear a true voice, it will come in the form of a trend. Sometimes you can see a trend, because I'm very artistic. So you could see a trend that nobody sees, or it could be an advice to a friend that you will not normally think of. You will know. I guarantee you will know when it comes to you. So there's an important truth. If you're an extrovert, but you might be saying that, well, how can I live my life on feelings? How can I live my life based on some feeling or some voice? How do I even know? And that's the only way you can know. Extrovert, you live in your life through people. You live in your life, going out there, interacting with people, exchanging ideas and thoughts, and that's how you learn. That's how you interact. That's how. That's where your world is. But if you are also an introvert, I usually like to think of extroverts and introverts. Although there are various sub-degrees and sub-categories under extroverts and introverts. But if you are an extrovert, take time to be intuitive and take time to reflect. A lot of time, the attention is out there, so it's hard for you to look within. Another mistake is that if you're also an extrovert, you think that everybody's like you. That's one big mistake that I made, because a lot of time we think that everybody's like us. If you're an extrovert, you think that everybody's like you. But the truth of the matter is that introverts are introverts because a lot of time they spend a lot of time thinking, getting in touch with their feelings, and thinking about self, and everything is with the self. And a lot of time that's why introverts are introverts, because they keep to themselves and they keep to their feelings and they process their feelings within themselves, while extroverts take their feelings and process it among the world, among people. So this is why there's a great tension between extroverts and introverts, because extrovert thinks that introverts do not understand them, and if you're extrovert and you're not intuitive, once a while you hear yourself, your voice, once a while accidentally, and then rarely you could connect with introverts, because a lot of times you are projecting outward with people. An introvert is more of listening and processing their feelings and their mind and emotions, everything within. So you don't want to be inspired once a while if you're an extrovert. If you're also an introvert, you process feelings within, and a lot of times you don't know which is your feelings and which is your voice. You have a lot to work with, but you don't know what is your feelings, what is your intuition, what is yourself out of all the numerous emotions, thoughts, and mind that you process and deal with. Basically, your feeling, a lot of times you just think of feelings, but feelings is basically your navigation system. It's your gut, it's your mind. And generally, when I talk about your mind, I don't think your mind is not just up here in your head or even your heart. Your mind consists of your whole body, your whole sensory system, your whole body. And generally, as you process, interact with people, gather information, process it, everything goes through the system, and it's internalized into your feeling, and that feeling is communicated to your mind. And this system is very, very advanced. This is what even before you became aware, even as a child, as a baby, you started learning things even before you could speak or hear through your body. So do not underestimate the power of your feeling or your intuition. You just have to sink into it to find yourself. Not from being an extrovert. If you're an introvert, you're protecting your feelings, you're protecting your mind, and you value them so much, and a lot of time you anxious to go and extend yourself or share your feelings or interact with the world because you're so protective of them. And I could relate because originally I could relate because I've always been an introvert, but I was not aware that I was an introvert. I was trying my hardest to live as an extrovert, which I did, but then it was still a struggle, and I didn't know that I was an introvert. And so that's how I could relate and I could talk about these things. And I didn't know who I was. Basically, I didn't know who I was because if you're struggling right now, if you cannot find yourself and find your voice and live from your voice, if you're struggling, which I was struggling a lot, struggling with myself, struggling to do anything, struggling to, to know who I was. So how do you find out who you are? How do you know who you are? It's easy. You could start by finding out whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. There are various subcategories of extroverts and introverts, as I said before. But knowing that whether you're an extrovert or introvert will help you will be a great place to start. Also, another thing I did was I found out whether I was left brain or right brain. You could be torn in between, but if you take the test, whichever side that you fall on, whichever side that you get the most marks on, most likely that's the side that you fall to, or you have more traits leading to that side. So you could take the test, the Myers-Briggs test. It will tell you whether you're an extrovert or introvert. It will tell you which type of introvert, because they have the INFP kind of introvert and an INFJ kind of introvert. And generally that will tell you what kind of introvert you are. Because I always believe that we unfold, we could become who we are. These tests are not true. And generally, how can a test just tell who you are? Because you could change at any time, you could become anybody at any time. And I just didn't take any tests at all. I just disregarded everything, and I was trying to figure all this by myself. But generally, you could cut the search shorter if you take the test, and it will kind of narrow it down to who you are. And then you will take it from there. Well, you're not that special. You are special, but you're not that special. You are special on a certain plane, but on another plane you're not special. And once you know that you're a certain type of person, you see how your life will unfold. And I feel like this also ties into karma, which I'll go over in another video. The good thing is that you could put a jack inside your karma, inside your life process, or you could transcend beyond who you are, whether an extrovert or introvert. And generally that transcension will give you the power to become more. But first you have to know who you are, and that knowing of who you are will help you transcend above what kind of personality type that you are. So as you're doing this and listening to yourself and being quiet and listening to yourself, you see that there's a part of you there's a voice or an emotion of you that you become protective of, that you vibrate, and you don't feel like bringing that out. That side of you is your voice. Whatever you're resisting, whatever you're pushing aside, that side is your voice. That's the side that you should bring out more. So as an extrovert, this is the side that you meditate to. This is the side that you meditate to find. And as an introvert, this is the part that you sort through your emotions and your mind, and you get to look for that voice. You get to look for that vibe or that feeling. Now listen, once you find that voice, you surrender to that voice. Embrace that voice and say, this is who I am. And no matter what it is, I'm gonna live through this voice. I'm gonna push this voice out. But wait a minute, because then your anxiety is there. Because once you find it, now you have the anxiety to do it. And that's the next thing that I'll go over, how to overcome that anxiety. Everybody's saying, find your voice, be yourself, this, then that, and that, and that. But then you forget that if you're an introvert, you're dealing with all these voices and different things that is stopping you, is stifling you, you're judging yourself. Even if you find your voice, you're judging yourself in living through that voice. Another clue, another hint is that once you find that voice, you realize that now if you've been meditating before you find that voice, you realize that once you find that voice, you realize that you're just present with that voice, because the judgments will come. Then you have the judgments like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to say this, I don't want to do this thing, or there'll be things in the past coming up, but that voice is just present. It's like, do this, it's like, go make this video, go share this message, for me. Or it's telling you, get out of the couch and make that call, or do this, or make that business call, or tomorrow when you're out, talk about your business idea that you have. So that is that voice. That voice is present and it's solid. So that's how you overcome the anxiety part. So once you find that voice, you also have to practice being in the now, which is something that I spend most of my energy and most of my time sharing with you on this channel, how to live in the presence, how to be consciousness. Because then once you find your voice, the anxiety is there, but you have to transcend the anxiety. That's the second part. And generally the way in which you transcend anxiety is to be present, live in the now, meaning that live in the now. So what does it mean? So it seems a little complex, but generally what it means is that once you focus on your voice, you realize that a lot of it is past things and also future things that have not occurred yet. Living in now is just focus on now. Right now, this is what is. Like right now, I'm shooting a video, I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to you, and I'm here now. I'm not thinking about the past, I'm not thinking about tomorrow, I'm not thinking about how this video, whether you hear this video, whether you hear my voice, whether I'm just here present, sharing this with you. This is present, this is now. And once you get in the now, you realize that you give space for your voice to come through, to fill you up. and to come forth.